Welcome to the Laverne Church of the Brethren's weekly audio message. Here at the Laverne Church of the Brethren, we create a Christian community called by Christ to be inclusive, caring, and peace-minded. We affirm that people of any race, ethnic identity, gender identity, sexual orientation, ability, age, economic status, faith tradition, or life situation are welcome in our congregation. We believe in compassionate service, stewardship of creation, respect for diversity, and nonviolent reconciliation for differences among all people, nations, and faith traditions. We claim no creed but the New Testament as exemplified by the life of Christ. We strive to follow the way of Jesus. And through these efforts, we seek to grow ever closer to the mind and heart of God. And now let us ground ourselves as we enter into today's message.
Christianity by Rodney Stark. Christianity revitalized life in Greco-Roman cities by providing new norms and new kinds of social relationships able to cope with many urgent problems. The cities filled with homeless and impoverished, Christianity offered charity as well as hope. To cities filled with newcomers and strangers, Christianity offered an immediate basis for attachments. To cities filled with orphans and widows, Christianity provided a new and expanded sense of family. To cities torn by violent ethnic strife, Christianity offered a new basis for solidarity. And to cities faced with epidemics, fires, and earthquakes, Christianity offered effective nursing services. For a religious group, as with any organization, commitment is energy. It was not simply the promise of salvation that motivated Christians, but the fact that they were greatly rewarded in the here and now for belonging. Because the church asked much of its members, it was thereby possessed of the resources to give much. For example, because Christians were expected to aid the less fortunate, many of them received such aid, and all could feel greater security against bad times. Because they were asked to nurse the sick and dying, many of them received such nursing. And because they were asked to love others, they in turn were loved.
I was driving to the office on Friday morning when my phone gave a ding for a text message notification. It was a message from Pastor Ron, and his message read, "Bad news. I tested positive for COVID this morning. I'm so sorry." After calling Ron to see how he was feeling, I finished my drive in awe of the irony of this circumstance. Our interim pastor of congregational care, who was slated to lead worship around the topic of visiting the sick, was sick himself. Ron's unexpected illness reminds me of the fragility of life. Ash Wednesday is this week. It's the first day of Lent. And Lent's a period of days, 40 days, leading up to Maundy, Thursday. It's a time when many Christians take time to prepare for Easter. Ash Wednesday is a time when we are invited to remember our mortality. Many traditions offer services where ashes are applied on the foreheads of worshipers. These ashes act as a reminder that we are dust, and to dust we shall return. A few years ago, a TikTok trend that highlighted the fleeting nature of life made its way across many social media platforms. I'm not really active on TikTok. Like most good millennials, I watch my TikTok videos where they're meant to be watched, which is on Instagram. This social media trend caught my eye when an Episcopal priest I follow participated in it. In her video, Reverend Laura was dressed in her religious garb, preparing for Ash Wednesday. Ashes on her forehead and Bible in hand, this priest was recorded sharing a voiceover reel that spoke these words. It's a question. Did you know that if you eat well and you exercise and you sleep well and you drink a lot of water, you still die? This video, it gave me a good laugh, and I'm not suggesting we neglect our bodies. I certainly would like to take better care of mine. But beneath its humor, this little reel held a profound truth. No matter what we eat, or how much we exercise or sleep, or how many gallons of water we drink each day, we are made from dust, and to dust we shall return. This reminder feels important, especially for those maybe like me who focus on productivity over presence at times. In most of my ministry and really life experiences, productivity was a major focus. Perfect administration, high attendance, exciting programs. I still wrestle with the tension between productivity and presence. When I pause and remember that I am dust, and to dust I will return, I find humility in this present moment. When I reflect on Matthew 25 and its call to visit those who are sick, I'm reminded that offering authentic presence is a sacred gift, one in which we both give and receive. In the text that Caroyln read to you, a reading that Ron Faust wanted to share with us today, we hear about Christianity in the ancient Greco-Roman world. How early Christians truly lived into the call of Matthew 25, how they offered care to those who went without, how family was reimagined, and how care was provided through visitation and nursing. In this reading, it illustrates the concept of mutuality. Christians were asked to nurse the sick and dying, many of them who then received such nursing and visitation. Because they were asked to love others, they in turn received love. From this reading, we sense mutuality and care from within the early church. And this care was offered not by a single pastor or one church leader, but an entire faith community. And it's this care that helped shape their church, and in turn, the greater society. Together, we are working toward collective care for one another. During the pandemic lockdown, it looked like caring circles, folks who checked in with each other during such an uncertain and fearful time. Today, we've expanded what care looks like from within our congregation. We have lay chaplains like Reba, Carolyn, Nancy, and Karen, who offer visitation to those who are experiencing illness or mobility restrictions. Every month, our Love Loaf volunteers visit folks too. They provide a loaf of bread baked in our church kitchen for those who are sick or maybe have to stay at home. Those who aren't physically present with us on Sundays, they're still a part of this faith community. Then we have our faith partners who are available every other Sunday to listen and pray with anyone who may want to share a joy or concern. But visitation and care, it only begins with our congregational care team of lay chaplains and faith partners. It continues with each of us through kind and encouraging notes sent to one another, through lending a listening ear, through phone calls made to just check in, through meals dropped off to those who are sick or grieving. Simple visits that offer authentic presence and genuine care. These are truly a sacred gift. Let us offer these gifts of care and service to one another. Amen.
We're so glad that you listened to the message today. If you're looking for an open and affirming, peace-loving, and justice-seeking congregation, consider visiting us for in-person worship on Sundays at 9:30 a.m. We'd love to meet you.